For all my blackberry lovers out there, you are in for a treat. Stick around because today we are baking up blackberry cobbler. So we're starting off with rinsing out a pint of blackberries, fresh blackberries. All right, we're going to put the entire container in a mixing bowl here. Okay, to the blackberries, we're adding a 1/3 cup of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're adding in a cup of blueberry pie filling. Yes, I add blueberry pie filling to my blackberry cobbler. Again, 1 cup we're going to put into this. Yes, and we're going to mix it all in until it's nice and evenly incorporated. Okay, now we're going to set it aside. And we're going in with a 1/4 cup, which is equivalent to 4 tablespoons or 1/2 stick of salted butter. We're going to get it melted down. All right, and pour it in that bowl here. And even though it's melted, you want to make sure it's cooled down some. All right, we're adding in a 1/4 cup of sugar. Get that all mixed in. Adding 1 egg, just 1 large egg to this. Here we're going in with our buttermilk, and you want to give it a nice shake. 1 cup of buttermilk we'll be adding. Okay, let's get it all mixed in. This recipe comes together so easy. All right, we're going in with a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going in with self-rising flour, and I am using White Lily today. I've kind of fallen in love with White Lily. And we're going in with just 1 cup. Gotta go in with that cinnamon. Just a 1/4 teaspoon will do. Now we're adding baking soda. And a 1/4 teaspoon of it as well. All right, let's get that all mixed in here. Okay, so we're going to be using an 8 by 8 inch baking pan. Take that butter and grease it up real good. Perfect. Now we're going to pour this batter in here. You can see it's just a little slightly thinner than a pancake batter. That's the consistency we're going for. So now we're going to add our blackberry filling, just little dollops. Place a little dollops around, just on top of the batter, making sure not to stir the filling in. Just place it on top. And it looks like a lot, but we will be using all of it. You're going to use all of it, place it on top of the batter until it's all gone. All right, we're going to set it to the side. We're going to prep up our top crust. Yes, there's a top crust for this. So we're taking a 2-pack of the 9-inch pie crust. We're only using one sleeve. Just store-bought. You can buy this in pretty much any brand and any grocery store will do. And it's best to make sure it's nice and thawed so it will roll out good without breaking. All right, we're going to brush this with a little bit of egg wash. I put about a tablespoon and a half of water and I'm mixing it in with 1 egg here. Normally I use a little egg beaters, but I'm making my own egg wash today. This gives it a nice finish and nice shine to the cobbler. And I like to put a top crust on it because it helps the finish be nice and flaky and crispy to go along with the inside of that delicious cobbler here. Okay, so we're just going to brush it across. Yes, I love the softness of the inside of the cobbler, but this just gives it a really, really nice top crispiness, which is just awesome. Okay, so we're sprinkling a little bit of sugar on top of our top crust here. It's a little light coating, just making sure it's all evenly coated here. And we're going to top it off with a little bit of cinnamon, and I like to hold it kind of high up so it'll spread on that pie crust pretty evenly. All right, that's perfect. So over here I'm just going around the round pie crust and I'm cutting off the ends to each side to make it more of a square here. Because we are putting this in an 8x8 inch pan. Take those sides and set it to the side here. And now we're just going to cut about 1/2 inch slices. The size of slices that you cut is really up to you, but I just recommend roughly about 1/2 inch wide. And we're going to begin to layer it on top, and it should go on perfectly here. I'm going to kind of space out a little bit to give a little room for the heat to escape when the cobbler is baking, even though this cobbler will spill over a little bit on this, but it's okay. And also the top crust I want to add is optional. You do not have to put the top crust, just make it the traditional way. But I just like to add the top crust to give a little difference in the texture of the cobbler. A little crispiness to the top is always so good to me. And I think you'll like it as well. Okay, now you can go with just that. You don't have to crisscross it like I'm doing, but I'm going to put those last little strips on, at least a few of them, in the opposite direction. If you have a few pieces left over right here like me, just dispose of it, or you can put it on there. However you want to do it, it's no big deal. Okay, so even though the cobbler more than likely will not spill over, I always want to bake it on a pan here because I would rather clean the pan than a messy oven if that happens. And we are going to put this in the oven on 350 degrees between 45 to 55 minutes, depending on your oven. All right, it has baked for about 50 minutes in my oven. And it has a beautiful color, y'all. All right, I'm just hitting those sides here and got that crispiness. That's why I like to put that pie crust on top. It makes it nice and crispy on the top, just perfect. I'm just gonna give it a little knife test here. And it should come up pretty clean. That's about right. And we're gonna let it sit for about 15 minutes before we cut into it. Give everything time to set real good. So I topped it off with some ice cream because no cobbler is complete without it, right? Gotta have it. Now I want to dig into it to show you the texture and show you just how good it turned out. I want to thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, spending this time with me. And if you like this video, please subscribe if you don't mind. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time.